What's good, everyone? What's good, everyone? I'm gonna try to make this live stream under 2 hours, or I don't know. It's gonna be very short because yeah, I gotta do some shit, and well, I gotta do some shit later tonight, but I want to at least have time to chill, and I'm not trying to be making a fucking live stream for like 3 hours, and then I only have like a few, like 30 minutes to chill. Then I gotta go do what I gotta do tonight. So I'm gonna try to keep it short if I can. Um, but I just want to speak on this thing real quick. Yeah, like you guys see the title, you niggas see the title. Some humans are genetically superior. Not all spines are the same. So, like, I was speaking about this in a previous live show, or more than one live stream. I was talking about this, how the spine is different. And like everything I say, like I said, everything I say, you fact check in real life. Like fuck all these bitch ass niggas on, oh, you gotta go on Google, you gotta go here, you gotta go here, you gotta read the Bible, you gotta read this thing. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Take your fat, lazy, dingy piece of shit ass outside and open your eyes and then go see what's going on. And then that's the book. Like anybody talking about anytime you gotta fact check somebody and it's not in real life, they're an idiot. They're either a scientist or somebody who's in that crowd and circle. So like a scientist, or like, I don't want to say scientists, because scientists, they're just part of the peons of the whole thing. They're just like there. But the people who control the I don't even want to say that, because the people who are like so-called in power and whatever, the government, they don't know shit. They're retarded. So like you got to understand, like everything in life is the actual book. Life is the number one book. Life is what they would say the Bible is, because they have to copy everything. So when they created the Bible, they were copying life. Life is supposed to be the book that you look at. There was a time where we didn't even have books. There was no such thing as writing with a pen and paper. It was just you go out in life and experience. So I don't want to get into that. I want to speak about the topic, because I sometimes I kind of ramble when I get off. I get off the subject what I want to speak about. So that's something I got to work on. I kind of ramble too much on different things. I don't ramble, but I will talk about things that aren't pertain to the subject. So I want to keep it on the subject. Like I said, everything I say, fact check in real life. I don't want to ramble too much because that's something I need to work on. But not all humans are genetically um, the same. We're not all the same. When I talk about the spine in my videos, and I tell you guys about yoga fasting, and I tell you yoga fasting will put you in a breatharian blissed out state, and it will allow you to have enough energy that they call prana and chi. That's what the cracker calls it, prana and chi. It's not called prana and chi, but I like to say prana and chi because that's a word everybody knows. So it's really just energy, and it's not even energy. We speak English because um, this is what this is the type of situation that our spirits are in at the moment. So we have to speak a language because certain things happen. So we're forced to speak a language. At a natural human state, you're not supposed to speak any language at all. You're not supposed to be talking. Talking and speaking language is actually like lower level. So the fact that we're speaking, I have to say certain things like energy and chi and spiritual. All of that shit is fucking retarded. None of that shit makes any sense. It's just it makes sense now because we're talking. So I have to use certain words, Bill. So prana and chi and all of these things that we have to like use to describe the energy, all of this is not the same as in everybody. And you gotta understand that it's not the same. When you see people, like when I say on my channel that everything I say pertains to me and my own people or people who resonate with me, this is me telling you guys that I'm not just saying this because, oh, you may not agree with me. Even if some of you guys may agree with me, you may not be able to attain and do what I do because it's not for you. You don't have the genetic outlook. The way I see, the way I hear, the way I feel, the way I experience life is not the same as every human. Some humans experience life differently. Like you got some people who like comic books. I fucking hate comic books. That's just boring as fuck to me. But the person who likes comic books, when he reads a comic book, they're experiencing and they're seeing the comic book with more depth than I can. When I see a comic book, I'm just seeing a bunch of the letter Z because that shit makes me tired and makes me want to go to sleep because that shit's boring as fuck. They're seeing something more like depth. So how you perceive is different from everyone. That's just a small, stupid example. On a deeper level, when I talk about yoga, fasting, and I say how it puts me in a certain state, this won't put everybody in a certain state. Go on Facebook groups and go to Facebook and go to fasting groups. They have plenty of fasting groups. Some of these groups have over like 100,000 people. All of these people, they fast for 20 days, 30 days, 10 days. But when you actually look at them, they're not intelligent like me. And I'm not saying I'm the only intelligent person. There's other people out there, very few, but there's a lot of intelligent people that I've seen in my personal life. I only seen one person on YouTube. Most of the intelligent people I see are in my personal life, and they don't fucking like social media or YouTube. 99% of people on social media and on YouTube are idiots from my perspective. Not to say that I'm the smartest and I know everything. No, I do know everything, but it's not to say I'm the smart. It's just when I see people that are intelligent like me, it's in real life. And there's only one person on social media I see that's actually intelligent. Everyone else is an idiot. And I'm not talking shit about like all my people who subscribe and support. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking because like at the end of the day, this doesn't pertain to you. I'm talking about people who actually think they know something. They're talking all this dumb shit. Like they're all idiots. There's only one person online that I could actually say is intelligent. But in my personal life, there's people that I actually see that is more intelligent. That's why I say get off social media, because if you're on social media, you're going to be thinking real life is like social media. And you'd be thinking everyone's retarded, everyone's broke, everyone gets no bitches, everyone's depressed. But no, this is social media. And even when you want to talk about social media, this is only the Western world. This is only America, especially Australia, UK, Canada. Those is what people are talking about. And even then, if you go to these countries, if you go into the real world, it's not even like that. It's just on the internet. So it's a bunch of fucking bum ass, particularly Gen Z, because they're upset, they're angry because they don't live a fulfilling life because they ain't shit and they're retarded and they don't know how to live life. So they're upset, so they have to complain. And then they try to. And then when you see so many people complain, it makes you think it's the real thing. But in reality, this is all coming down to they don't have enough energy in their spine, because when you don't have certain organs in the body, because not every human being has the same type of organ. Like you guys may say, oh, we all have a heart, which we do have a heart, or whatever they call it heart, but it's not called a heart. But they call it heart. We have a so-called brain. We all have eyes. These are basic things that make us human, but it gets deeper. You see what I'm saying? There's certain organs that make you be able to perceive consciousness more and be more intelligent. That's how you see a genius, and then you see somebody who's a redneck who doesn't know how to do shit but fuck his cattle herd. They fuck animals on the farm, and they probably like to have sex with their cousin, and they like to put corn on the cob up their asshole. Like those type of rednecks you see like in Mississippi. You got those type of white people, and then you got white people that actually know how to do more things. And even then, I'm not talking like it has nothing to do with race, but I'm just trying to compare you to. There's certain people in different areas of life, and you'll see how some people are more retarded than others. This is not just, oh, this person just grew up in an environment. This person just, no, a lot of it has to do with their genetics. They're not genetically, even if they grew up in an intelligent environment. Even if they grew up in an intelligent environment, they will still be retarded because they don't have the same energy going through their spine. They don't have the same organs. Like even the spine, they say the spine has 33 vertebrae. To be honest, I think there's more than 33 vertebrae depending on the person. The average person, it probably has 33. But I don't think the spine really has 33 vertebrae. And even if it did, there's different aspects within the vertebrae, different different nerves, different signals and neurons that some people have that other people don't. Just like a cat can't play the piano unless you have to get an AI video to do it or something. A cat will never play the piano. That doesn't make sense because it doesn't have the same neural system. Some humans, they're not able to do certain things other humans doing. And I'm not saying I'm able to do fucking everything. There may be some other humans that have certain organs within their spine or whatever that I don't have. So it all relative, but you can tell because when I talk about, and the reason I'm saying this is because when I talk about fasting and yoga, breath work, you'll have people who agree with me and then people who don't agree with me, and they'll be like, oh, you don't need to fast and get into this mindset. You don't need to do this. And they are right from their perspective, because when they fast, if they were to fast 30 days, do breath work and do yoga, they'll still be depressed. They'll still be miserable. They'll still be retarded. And shout out to Royale, was good with it. They'll still be retarded, or it wouldn't even help them. So they may need to do more shit. They might need to eat a vegan diet. Like, and I'm not hating on anybody who has to eat healthy, because everyone needs to be eating healthy. But if you need, like, eating healthy should be a stepping stone to get your health. Let's just say you're diabetic, then you need to eat healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're like somebody who's been vegan for like 30 years and that's all you eat is vegetables and vegan, then you're fruitarian for 30 years and you need your fruit. Fruitarian is not about, oh, I just eat fruit. It's about, I don't need to eat that much energy. And you can easily not eat that much. So if you just say I'm a fruitarian, eat fruit once every 3 days, eat fruit once a day. And I'm not saying everybody should be on a fasted state. Some people need to eat every day, but what I'm saying is you can't be a fruitarian and start flexing on everyone. Well, I only eat fruit. You eat meat. But yet you need fruit every day. You need to go to the grocery store every fucking day. Your ass is at Winco every day getting fruit. But yet you think you better, but you need fruit, nigga, because your genetics is dependent. Like me, I can't have food. Like, and I'm not saying I'm better superiorly. This is just me. But I can't eat certain food. When I eat food, it brings me down. It slows me down. When I don't eat, it makes. This is why I left. I think I left a post. No, I said no in my last video yesterday. I said I need to be on a fasted state, because if I don't be in a fasted state, I will start wanting to resort back to drinking and taking painkillers. Because drinking and taking painkillers, it gives me a high. You know, when people do drugs, they get high. I'll get high. So I'll smoke weed. I never liked smoking weed after 2012. The only reason I smoked weed after 2012 because when I took painkillers and when I drank alcohol, it would help make the high feel better. And then when I came down from the alcohol and the painkillers, it will make me not have the come down. That's the only reason I liked weed after 2012. Other than that, I never liked weed after 2012. Before 2012, I was smoking it every day and I liked it. And it was funny because before 2012, that's when I didn't have no money to get a 20 sack. But right when 2012 hit, when I started getting hella money and I started doing a lot of like things to get money, that's when I really couldn't spend money on the shit. So it was kind of weird how that happened. But anyways, like this is why I said when I do yoga, qigong, and fasting, it helps me be in a certain state where I'm able to think clear, perceive more, feel more, and it makes me not want to get and dabble into those other things. So I'm real, because I just broke, because I've been going like this last like 2 months. I've been going on extreme long fast. Every fast I do is at least over 10 days, which is the longest I've been doing since 2020. Before I used to be just doing 2 days, 3 days, and those it's not enough for me. And I'm not saying like this is me personally. If you guys are starting to fast, 3 days is good. It's more than enough for most people. But me, it wasn't enough. So I wasn't going anywhere. But I'm noticing on these longer fasts, like it affects me better. Like I'm able to be more clear-minded and think clear, and I don't really be tripping as much. But the thing is, I was having a conversation with one of my cousins, and he went on a fast, like a 10-day fast, and he's like, he didn't feel the benefits I felt. And it made me realize because we have different energy systems within the body, that different organs. So my spine is not the same as yours. I'm not saying I don't know you personally. Your spine may be like mine. I'm not saying I'm the only one with this type of spine. And I'm not saying that. You have to know for yourself, but just know this. What I'm about to say right now is a fact. Not everybody's spine is the same. Most people are operating at a low level. This is why, like, they'll talk about how the rap industry or rap music sucks now. Don't get me wrong. The rap music, it does suck now, but you got to understand it's not rap music that sucks, because music people will always have a reason to listen to music. So it's not like music itself is being played out. It's not the genre, because rap is a certain style. It's just the people that are making the music, the people that are making the movies, the people that are making the games, they don't have no energy. I left a comment. There's no cool. Remember that era swag and having style and being cool and having charisma. That shit doesn't exist. After 2021, there was no such thing as being cool, having charisma, having swag. And anybody who says, well, this person's cool, like, nigga, you're lame just like them. Like,
you're part of, like, remember yesterday when I said people talk shit about the government, but the people who talk shit about the government, they're programmed and think like the government, but they don't know it. So they're like, oh, this person's cool. Like, no, you're programmed to think that because you're part of that lame shit. And this is, and if you guys think I'm just hating, why is everything so lame nowadays? The content, not life. Don't make it seem, oh, life is, no, life is actually the same. If anything, it's thriving and it's getting more energy. It's the people, because they don't have the right amount of energy in this shit. And most people, their spine isn't, so there's not enough flow, energy, prana, chi. I don't like saying those words, but I'm just saying this so you guys understand. There's not enough of that going through people's spine. And then not only that, a lot of people don't have the right organs within their spine. There's certain nerves and certain neurons and certain, like, I even think there's more than 33 vertebrae. They tell you it's 33. Some humans may have more than 33. And within that extra vertebrae, there's more of a bundle of nerve. So that's more information that can pass through. This is why some human beings are able to tap in and remember shit more. Like, you'll see some people, like, they can, like me, I can remember a lot of shit for currently where my situation, but I had that blockage in my neck. As I release it, I can remember more shit. So I'm able to tell you guys the information I'm able to tell you. Not that I say I do know everything, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, there's certain things I don't know. Like, I don't know what color underwear your mother's wearing, so I don't know everything. But as far as life general and what I need to do for myself, I know everything. But as I release the blockage more, that knowledge is going to be more deeper, more profound. This is why, because there's more information able to go through, because that blockage. A lot of people have block, and it's not just the blockage. Some people, they don't have a blockage in their neck, but they're still more retarded than me. So I have a little bit of blockage. I got it like 85 to 95% removed. It takes years to remove it. It takes an average person, a breatharian will tell you it takes 10 years to be able to get the energies. Every breatharian, they'll tell you the reason they're not able to eat is not because of how much breath work they do. It's not how much fasting they do. It's because they have enough energy going through their vessel. So they have a certain type of spine and they have a certain energy that's going through their vessel that's able to make them not eat. This is why breatharian isn't for everyone. And anybody that says, oh, breatharian, it ain't this. I don't need to eat fast. I don't need. No, you don't need to fast because you don't have the right vessel, because your vessel is weak. So that's why you don't need to fast, because your vessel wouldn't, even if you fast and did yoga every day and did breath work, you still wouldn't be able to be breatharian because you don't have the right organs and the right spine, because you're a weak ass motherfucker. And I'm just saying it because there was this bitch ass nigga trying to talk about how fasting is the same as no fat. It's just a program about it. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. First, you tell people to stop eating McDonald's because Monsanto poisons food. First, they say that. And then you say, oh, it's not about, then when somebody doesn't want to eat junk food, then they want to take care of their health. Oh, you're being too serious. You're being too, it's not that deep. We're supposed to eat. We're human beings. Then somebody is a fat ass and they want to eat this. Oh, they're a fat, they need to stop eating. Then if somebody wants to start fasting and not eat shit, oh, you're getting into the program. It's not that serious. You think you can not eat and be spiritual? Nigga, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. What is it? It's like, these are people who are lost. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're trying to watch other content creators that they have an infatuation for, and they're trying to engage their life against their life, but not knowing that these motherfuckers aren't like you and you're not like anyone else. You have to look at what you need to do, not what anyone else needs to do. Because a lot of people that you'll compare yourself like, oh, this person, he's not having sex because when you release, this happens and whatever. But you don't know. This person probably had fucking orgies and threesomes in his younger childhood, and he needs to not do that because he needs to move on. You've never even had sex before, yet you're trying to compare yourself to this person. You see what I'm saying? You see where the problem is? You don't know why this person's doing what they're doing. You don't know their previous life. You don't know, not even just this life. You don't know their past lives. You don't know what they did in this life when they were young for them to make the decision, I'm not going to do this. Like, there's this one dude on here. I'm not like, I don't give no more shout outs on my channel. There's one channel on here talking about, well, he wasn't negative. He's actually, because like I said, I don't give shout outs anymore, but it was one channel on here, and this person, he can't eat. And it's due to a certain problem that they have physically. they can't really eat certain shit. But yet, when certain things he will say to make it seem like you don't need to fast. But if you look at this person's life, they actually live the life that I'm living. Even if they don't agree with fasting as like the ultimate, they actually lived it. But then you'll see other people who never fasted before, who all they did was eat, and then they'll sit there and take up for this person. But if they knew this person, like if they knew that person personally, that person actually did the things they were hating on. It's like somebody hating on this person for going to the gym, working out. And then this person was like, this person, let's just say I worked out at the gym. And then they say, you work out too much. And then there was somebody else that says, working out is really not all that. But the person who said that, they worked out for 10 years and got a big physique. And that experience made them realize it's not all that. Whereas the person who's a hater, who's a bitch, who's a punk ass nigga, he never worked out. He never liked it. He never did shit, but yet he's taking up for the other. Well, this guy's right. You shouldn't work out. But this guy who's saying you shouldn't work out, he worked out for 10 years and went through the experience. You never been to any experience. Like a nigga will say, oh, I'm not dating no bitches because this pickup artist or this influencer, they said all women are sheep or are fucking dogs or whatever. They're bitches. But the person who said that, he went through experience fucking mad bitches for him to come to that conclusion. You didn't have that experience. So you can't talk. You need to shut the fuck up. A lot of people there'll be people who don't agree with what I do. And I respect them because they've experienced what I did. In some cases, more than what I did. But for them, the reason they're saying they don't agree with it, because it's for them. But there'll be people who don't agree with what I'm saying, and they never been through no experience in their fucking life, but just work some bum ass job and live a regular goddamn life and scroll social media all fucking day for the past 5-6 years, not do shit with their fucking life. And yet they feel like they have an asshole, they have an asshole opinion to give to me about fasting and how it's bad or how it's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about nothing. I don't want to hear shit about what anybody has to say who hasn't had no real life experience, which is like an 80% of Gen Z. Most of people in life, to be honest, and 80% of you can't say shit about nothing because you'll have no experience. Everything that you know is based upon what you've seen on social media. You have niggas out here open up a whole YouTube channel. They have not been through no life experience. Only experience they have is what they've seen on Netflix and what they scrolled on their social media posts. That's the only example they have of anything. And then they judge it based upon that. Like you see some stupid ass nigga talk about marijuana came from the Sirius star system. Bitch, you didn't hear that shit, but social media and YouTube. Ain't nobody woke up one morning talking about, ooh, we Sirius. You bitch, you don't even know what the fuck to say. Describe the Sirius star system, motherfucker. Like, what is it? And then they'll say, oh, it's where the Dogon and where the shut the fuck up. No, it's not. It's a Masonic imagery, a Masonic imagination. They created that whole concept of a star system. They created that whole term of Sirius. That's a Masonic term. They created all of that. So if you're quoting Sirius star system like it's something real, other than what they created, then you're full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, and then how would you even come up with marijuana and know to correlate with that with Sirius star system? Because the only time I ever heard about Sirius star system and marijuana was from these nigger conscious creators and these new age spiritual people who don't know a goddamn thing about anything. They think they're a light worker. Like, no, 99% of the people who say they're a light worker, they're not meant to do shit but wake themselves up. And if they help anybody in the process, that's it. You're not no light worker. You didn't come here to help anyone. Shut the fuck up. Get out your ego. You came here to help your fucking self. And if people get help, then, because most of those people we talking about, we came here to help. Bitch, you don't want those responsibilities, motherfucker. A lot of you niggas probably kill yourself and probably quit on the first day if you have the responsibility what you think you did have. Like, that's not what it is. You're not special. You ain't shit. So I guess your responsibility was to come, be born, fucking fill your fat ass up with snacks and groceries all day, fuck, sleep, go to your bum ass job and make YouTube videos and think you're waking people up and that's light work. Shut the fuck up. That's why I say not everybody is the same type of human. Because for a human being to actually think that there's somebody like special like that, that's some type of genetic inferiority. Like they have some genetic misplacement. We're not all the same. Just like you have a retard. What makes a retard a retard? He's genetically has something going on with his genetics, his brain. It shit ain't right. Spiritually, they're not. It all starts spiritually. Spiritually, something's going on, and then it comes down, and then now their brain and their body is fucked up. So there's different levels of retardation. There's the retardation, like somebody who's autistic, who's in a mental home. That's the most severe form that you can go see. If you're walking down a store and you see somebody who's retarded, it's readily easily to see. But then you have different types of mental illness and retardation, like people in government. That's a severe form. But it's since the psychology is catered to the convenience of the system, they're not going to label the average politician as mental illness. They're not going to talk about it because it's going to go against their narratives and their program. But if you're a politician, you have mental illness. Over 95% of police have mental illness. Um, Most people who work at fucking their 9 to 5, like especially if it's most of these jobs, like the average person who works in the government, that's a mental illness. You have to be mentally ill to even get a job in the government. And I'm not talking about just the post office and shit. I'm talking about like in the city hall or you're working in that. You have to have a level of mental illness. I even notice every single person that works in the government, I don't care who you are, every person that I see worked in the government, they have some type of they talk a certain way and they think a certain way. They think, even if they'll be talking about esoteric spiritual shit, you can tell like they actually give a fuck about the American system. Even if they'll say that they don't, the shit that they talk about, like they want to be in the system. And then they'll make esoteric spiritual reasons why it's okay to be in the system. Like talk about fucking all of these content creators like Kai Cenat. Like why would you say anything about Kai Cenat or fucking DJ Academic? Like why would you say anything about them other than something negative and derogatory? Like they're not nobody. Like if I hear anything come from somebody's mouth speaking of people like that, not just those two, but people like that, and it's anything other than something derogatory or negative, I look at you as a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck are you like? There's no reason to even mention their name unless it's something negative or derogatory because they're nobody. They're not shit. And they're even the people who pay them and put them on payroll, their handler, whatever. They know that they're not shit. And once they don't do what the fuck they're supposed to do, their ass is gonna be just like what they did with P. Diddy. They're gonna take their stupid ass to jail, set them up for some case or whatever. And I wouldn't give a fuck because bitch, you didn't do shit for me. You didn't do nothing for anyone. Like who the fuck is you? And they say, oh, nobody has to do shit for me. Yeah, nobody has to do shit for me. And I don't have to do shit for you. And that includes me giving a fuck about you. So shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga. It's just crazy. It just shows you the genetic inferiority of people. And it's not to just sit there saying, "Oh, I'm better." I think that I am better than most people, but it's not about saying I'm better than everyone. At the end of the day, it's you want to have help. It's good to have help. If I had a situation going, like there's even the situations in my life I have going, I need help. If you have a business, you need help. You need people to buy your shit. So I'm not saying like I'm better because if I was better, I wouldn't need anybody. At the end of the day, if I was better, I wouldn't need anyone. If I need to go to the store and get something to eat or go buy something, somebody needs to stock that fucking shelf. So it's not even about I'm better. We need certain people. We need lesser people to a degree to help you. Like if everyone, and in a way, I don't want to say that because if everybody was on a certain level to their highest self, the world would be a lot different. But since it's not like that, if I'm trying to obtain and get to where I need to get to, there needs to be somebody to do plumbing to clean the shit from my toilet. Not to say I'm better than this person. That's what they do. And that person probably has a plumbing business that makes a lot of money. There's people with plumbing that make a lot of money. So that's not even saying, oh, you're better. People do a lot of shit. And fuck the money. This person can be spiritually happy, content. And in his next life, he builds a better body and has a different mind. So he doesn't have to come back in this shithole. And then he's probably in a better situation than somebody who had money physically, who had a less superior way of thinking, in which is like a less superior spine and organ structure, everything. So you got to look at it from that angle as well. It's not about saying who's better, who's this, but at the end of the day, we're not going to act like there's no such thing as there's retarded people and more smarter people and genetically inferior people. We're not going to act like that. That's just dumb. That's a lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Anybody say we're all the same is retarded. We're not all the same. When they say we're all the same as we all have the potential and the capabilities to do what we need to do to become successful and happy within our own lives, whatever that is to us. So if there's two people here and there's a retard and there's a genius, we're equal as in we both have the we both have the power to make the decision to make our life move the way we want to make it. That's where we're equal. Everything else is just people trying to give you a trophy that you don't deserve. Like they used to give kids trophies to everyone, and the team came in last place. Like that's kind of like, I'm not saying this. It is kind of stupid because it makes people think like you deserve something when you didn't work for it. Like you can't lie, but you can tell people like you are special because you have the ability to do something to make your life better. That's where we're all equal. But you're not going to make somebody feel like the work that they put in dozens of lifetimes is for nothing. The reason you are the way you are is from this life and what you put in work and from past lives. We're not going to make people think that, oh, we're all equal. No, you got to show respect where it's due, motherfucker. If you went and worked at your whatever you work at and you got paid like $1,600 or $2,000 for that month, are you gonna take that money and give it to somebody who just stayed home and played game all day? You're gonna like, no, that's my money because I work for it. You're not gonna say, well, we're all equal. No, you're not gonna do that. But for some reason, everyone likes to say that we're all equal. And there's no difference between races and this. Even with the race, is different. There's different. It's not all the same. And it's not to say somebody's better or not. It's not to say, but we're not all equal. Not even race, even within race. Like not all black people is the same. Like I'm not the same as most black people. Some black people have more European in them. The way they look, the way their facial structure, they have more European. There's dark-skinned people, I know they have more European in them. Not just the way their facial structure is, the way they think. Because if your facial structure is a certain way, you're gonna think a certain way as well. Because where the mind goes, the body goes. So you're gonna think a certain way. So you may be hella dark, but you got European features. So you think more European. So this so you guys can see, like you go to the military, you see, so like every time I see a black person in the military, like 99% of the time they have certain European ways of thinking, the way they talk, the way their mind moves. It's like European because even though they look dark, they have a European mind. So even when they go in a room, more white people will gravitate to them, like like or like certain races, like the way they talk, like because like me, like you have an aura, and my aura, like I have an aura where I don't give a fuck. So sometimes I'll be like minding my business, and then people will have like an attitude with me for no reason, and I'll be like, why do they have an attitude? And it's because like I really don't give a fuck about them on a deep level. But sometimes I forget about that and I'm operating. And some people, not all people, some people can pick up about my aura. Like I don't give a shit about them. So I'll be like, sometimes I'll be hella nice and I'll be like hella, but yeah, it comes off like it's fake because I truly don't give a fuck about a lot of people. And sometimes I'll forget that and I was trying to be nice and fake, and then motherfuckers will have an attitude, and then I'll switch up like, why the fuck you have an attitude? Like, but it's like they can see what I'm already concealing. Because deep down, I truly don't give a shit about most people. Not in a disrespectful way, but because most people are retarded in their program, and the government has got a lot of people's minds on lock right now. And this is why a lot of people are gonna suffer. Like in the end, like it's crazy. Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like we gotta, because it's all an aura. Even like certain people I attract on my channel, because I I observe everything, like situations, people. I always calculate everything that comes in my life. certain dates, times when things happen. So even like certain people I see, and there's certain people that be commenting and engaging with me that they kind of remind me of people in my real life, or they have certain placements. It's all an energy that you're attracting. So you're attracting certain people. And if you're like a content creator and you have a YouTube page, you see this shit more than the person who doesn't have a content a page, because you don't have an avenue where you're able to just people are coming to you really. Like it's weird. Even like certain like with my business thing is with my business, like somebody will ask for a refund, and I'll look at their address or where they're from or their name, and it will synchronize like in a certain way or it'll be on a certain date. It's because it's all energetic. It's just weird. It's not weird. It's not weird. Like you to think it's weird, it shows you. It just shows you how retarded you are, because none of that shit is weird. It's just what's weird is you being in an education system that made you think that was weird. Because education, it fucks your mind up. Like that's why nobody like that say, oh, you're not educated. Like nobody's educated. You're only educated to make the corporation capital. That's it. That's the only thing you're educated on. They just want to because when you go to school, you don't know, they don't teach you shit but how to make the corporation more money. What good are you if you don't know how to make the corporation money? That means the corporation's gonna have to either kill you or take care of you. They don't want to kill too many people because that's gonna make karma. They don't want to take care of everyone because they're gonna lose money. So this is why they want you to work, want you to go to school. But my thing is, why don't they mind a fucking business, go back to their country, take the money they've already made, and live on their own and let people do them, and then therefore society will be thriving more. That's my fucking the whole gripe I have about it. Like mind your business and go back to your country, and stop being in people's face. And like that's the thing that gets me hella like pissed. Like I'm not saying they owe us reparations or we need to kill the white man, like because they already killed, they're already dead spiritually. Karmically, their fate is sealed. Like they can't get out of what they're in right now. There's no amount of spirituality, religion, or whatever. They even if they were to like make amends and say we're gonna give everybody $1 billion, nobody has to go to work, we're apologize, they're still gonna suffer for a long time, probably forever, because the amount of shit they've done is so deep, intense. Like imagine if you go and you killed somebody, you shot somebody in the head, and then you apologize to their family. I'm sorry. You can't bring that person to life. And even if you did, the amount of terror and traumatic experience that you forced that family to go through before you brought them back to life, you gotta pay for that. So like these niggas, like they're fucked. So like just go back to your country and just do and mind your business and leave people the fuck alone. That's what needs to happen, really. It's not like we need anything from the government. So I hate when people say they'll like talk about, oh, EBT, they cut off EBT. Okay, so what? Who gives a shit? Oh, they're not going to give us reparations. Oh, they're raising this. Who cares? What the argument and the topic should, the subject at matter should be is why the fuck are the government in people's way from them creating their own and building off the land? Like if I want to build a house on this land, I don't need the government to teach me. I don't need them to give me money. I don't need to do shit. They need to just go take their ass back to their country so we can make sure that there's no way they're going to be in our way trying to stop us from doing what we're doing. But they don't do that. Now they have to create a property tax. So even if I had the resources and I knew how to pay for shit, I can't just go build on the land because they have this whole property tax shit set up. So this is why I say like shit like that, because shit like that is gonna end, but it's gonna end as because everybody has to die. So all the people who create these systems, when they die, they just won't come back here. So therefore, this shit can be cleansed. But it doesn't have to be like that. If enough people were to wake up and realize it, it doesn't have to. It wouldn't have to take to that long. But even then, even if too many people woke up, they'll probably just create a situation where they start killing people or shit or poisoning the water, because that's how evil these people are. So it's like, but even if they did that, the people that they killed, they'll just end up in a better situation spiritually and be able to like keep going on and evolve. They'll just be done. So it wouldn't even if they did that, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because in the end, the spirit lives forever. The spirit would just take another form and have another experience where they wouldn't even be able to do that because they'll have to be put in timeout, probably permanently, where like they can't fuck with anybody because you're causing too much trouble. You're not minding your fucking business, so you have to go to timeout and stay there. Just like they put everybody in timeout during the pandemic, they fucked everybody's mind up with that shit. Remember, I was just thinking this. Remember when we had the pandemic? Remember everybody wanted to go out. Remember how they were like, "Oh, we're gonna shut down the ice rink. You can't go to Dave and Buster's no more. We're gonna close Disneyland." Everybody was fucking pissed. Like, and I remember when the pandemic happened, everything was closed but the grocery stores and Walmart. You had kids, or like kids in high school, would literally just go to Walmart and just hang out in Walmart, running around the aisles because there was nothing else to do. Everybody wanted to go out. They shut down a lot of parties. They put people through hell. People lost money. People lost fucking businesses because they shut everything down and everybody wanted to go out. But you notice when after 2022, I will say, because 2022 was the first year they let everybody back and was no restriction. That was the first year, 2022. I'll say the end of 2023, right when they released that Chat GPT for the regular people, which was like mid to end 2023. And that's when everything just started shifting really, really quickly. And everybody just, the mental illness just solidified. Because I remember it was at the end of 2023, everything started getting weird. Like all of this shit where like there was no suck. It was dying down after 2021, but the end, right when they released Chat GPT for the regular person, everything just went to shit. I remember it was right when they released that AI and they started talking about Chat GPT. They started releasing it. That's when everyone was more to themselves and everyone wanted to stay in the house, and then they're just trying to promote all this staying in the house and all of this shit. But you got to remember when the pandemic happened, nobody wanted to stay in the house. Everybody was begging to go out, and everyone, they'll sit there. Everyone was hoping that the next time they did the announcement, they will open up the malls, or you will call in to the mall, or you'll call into this. Are you guys open during the pandemic? And if they said no, you're like, damn it, we gotta wait. And then everyone was just begging. And you remember that shit? But how was it like 2 years later? Like everyone's like trying to, even like now you go out, is this, you could just tell like it's just they don't even structure shit where people are gonna want to go out and sit down and stay. Like it's like everything is, they expect you to just be at home and want to be home. It's crazy. I don't know what the fuck went on. Like, it's weird. And then everyone keeps saying it's this shift, which it is, but you got to look at it like this. Like I was saying earlier, if you don't have the right energy flowing through you, the shift is going to make you perceive shit differently. Like I said, there's no more cool people. Their music sucks. The movies suck. Everything sucks. Is because there's not enough energy. Most people are not on the right side of the shift. They're on the wrong side. So they're feeling the negative aspects of the ship, which so they're going against the ship. And then when you feel the negative aspects of the ship, you try to fight for the old shift without knowing it. And then as the deeper we get into the ship, the more people are getting more the more mental illness becomes a thing. So there's going to be different types of mental illness in the future. It's going to get even worse because all the shit people are trying to distract themselves, that shit is losing power, like value. Like I seen an article, they said GameStop is closing businesses, or they'll say that Taco Bell or Burger King has to close like 300 restaurants. And then every time they'll make these what's it called, these articles, people will say, oh, it's because people are broke, people have no money. nobody's able to make any money no more. It's because of they'll say that it's like no, that's part of it, but the main reason is nobody wants that shit no more. We in a shift where nobody sees value in material things as much anymore, and anybody who sees material things as highly valuable in this new shift, this is a miserable person, and they're using that to distract themselves. That's all it is. It's nothing else. They're using that shit to distract themselves, or that's it. Other than that, if you're on the right side of the ship, not to say you don't like material things, but you don't, it doesn't hold the same value and weight no more. Material things. So like that's why they have to close a lot of businesses, because a lot of people they don't have that. And plus time is accelerating. You don't even have time to really go to the store and buy shit. Remember the time when time was more longer, like 10, 15 years ago? You go to the mall, spend all day. You had time to buy shit. You had time to come home, try it on, do shit. Nowadays, it's like the day goes by so quick. What's the point of going to go spend $5,000 on some designer clothes just to wake up and by the time you know it, the day's already over? You barely even wore the damn clothes. What's the point? So that's why a lot of people they're like, well, like even all these rich people, like, what's the point of wasting this amount of money? Like, it's stupid. Just to go buy some shit, you don't even have time to even consume it. You go spend like all like you see what I'm saying? Like I'd be seeing like a lot of people that be like, oh, I'm rich, I have all this money. And I'm like, you're rich, you have all this money, but yet you're always busy. What time do you have to even drive your nice fancy car? The only time you drive your nice fancy car is to go to your fucking to go do work, to go to your fucking 9 to 5, to go handle business. Probably have to go run a few errands. It ain't like you out there driving and enjoying it. And if you are, only for a short period of time before you gotta go back to work. You see what I'm saying? It's like because we in a whole new shift. It's different. You have to find value within in this new shift. You can't find value without, because if you do, you're gonna feel like it's pointless, because it is. I'm gonna drop this link if anybody wants to join. If you guys want to talk about the human genetic shit, whatever. And if, like I said, if you don't believe me, every time you go out and about, you just go look around, observe how people act. Even when you start talking to people, like what do they talk about? He's like posting this in a white, yeah, do it. They probably gonna get mad as fuck. I don't even go on Discord. Yeah, it's like just go out in public. Like they talk about don't judge a book by its cover. That's some bullshit. You have to judge a book by its cover. You have to. You have to judge a book by its cover, because it's not like I've gave people benefit of the doubt. Like, because I'm so intuitive that like I will see somebody who they look like a piece of shit. But since you don't want to be looked at as a hater or somebody who's just mean for no reason, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And it's not exactly when I give people the benefit of the doubt, it's not like I'm nice to them or whatever. I just don't treat them like shit. That's me giving you the benefit of the doubt. It's not like I respect you. I just don't disrespect you. There's a difference. I don't respect you, but I don't disrespect you. So I keep it at that. And then they will show me, or they will do something to be like, oh, to make me being like, yeah, this person's an idiot. And then you have other people say, no, you're looking for that. That's where you manifest that. The manifesting doesn't even exist, you fucking moron. Anybody talking about manifesting is a retard. You don't manifest shit. Anything you do, you have to physically do something to make it happen. I'm not manifesting this fucking beanie to be on my head. I have to go in my bag, take the fucking beanie out, and put it on my fucking head. How else? I can say, oh, I manifested this. Everything you get in your life, you have to do something. Even if somebody gave you something, motherfucker, like you have to be in a certain energy for somebody to give you something. You have to take your ass. Oh, I went to the mall. Somebody gave me $1. I had to take my ass to the mall to go get the fucking dollar. I had to receive it from him. I had to not cuss him out, because if I cussed him out, he probably would have been like, "Give me my $1 back, or I ain't give you this." Do you see how many things I had to do to actually obtain the fucking dollar? And if you say what I'm saying, well, it doesn't make sense because you still got the dollar. Okay, bitch, teach your manifestations to all those starving kids in Africa and make them not starve no more, and shut the fuck up. You were talking about this bitch talking about, oh, I manifested this and then manifested that. Like, well, go manifest $1 billion, since manifesting is the way it's supposed to work. Go man, why you talk about how you manifested this 9 to 5? Oh, I manifested this my job, they hired me. I manifested, bitch, you sitting here working at some bum ass job. You should have just manifested a fat ass check that come in your mail. Why you gotta go manifest a little shitty ass job over there? And I'm like, oh, because we're in it. Yeah, whatever you're about to say is what I'm saying was right. You have to put in some type of work. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wasting your time even trying to worry about a little dumbass job. You wouldn't need one. And even if, I'm not saying you wouldn't need one, because that's just going too deep, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't be you'll be looking at it from a deeper perspective other than I just manifested it. Anybody using the term manifestation is a moron. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's not called anything. Anything you're doing, you're putting in work. You have to do something to do it. Everything costs money. Everything takes energy. You're not getting nothing positive in your life for free. Even if you have to do something illegal, you still have to risk getting in trouble. Depending on what you did, you're risking your spirit. You kill somebody for some money. You go and sell whatever. You have to do something. Like, you're not just getting away getting anything for free. That's why a lot of that spiritual shit, like, it kind of died down compared to it did back in the day. Like, back in the day, it wasn't like, if you look at the whole the algorithm, it's a lot of doomerism, giving up, society ain't shit. It wasn't like that like 10, even like 6 7 years ago. It wasn't like that though. That spiritual new age shit was more popular back then. Not to say people aren't in it now. There's still a lot of people in it now, but it was more popular. Like, there were certain, like, you can, if you guys knew, like, we're in it, you guys knew, like, that whole spiritual new age shit was, even look at Infinite Waters channel. He was pulling like millions of views on every other video, hundreds of thousands of views on every video. And he was talking spiritual. If you go on this nigga's channel right now, only video that pulls 100,000 views is if he's talking about some political shit, like what the fuck Trump ate for dinner, what did they do to Venezuela, like shit that's retarded, that's not even important. He'll get a lot of views on shit like that, but if he talks about some stupid mundane shit like the spirit is within us, he'll only get like 5,000 views. He will get like 100,000 or at least 50, 60,000 views on a video like that 10 years ago. Easily. He can't get that because nobody watches it, because a lot of people who watch them, when people watch spirituality back in those times, it was, my life sucks. If I collect crystals, if I pray or meditate, or if I watch this video and believe in the spirit, my life's gonna get better. And because God kept seeing the number 44. Remember when everyone used to be talking about 44? I keep seeing 44. I keep seeing 33. Everybody was talking about the angel numbers. People still talk about it, but it was like a big thing like 10 years ago, 8 years ago. It was a fucking big thing. Everyone's talking about angel numbers. But what happened to all that? Nobody talking about angel numbers no more. Why isn't nobody talking about angel? It's not that they don't see him or it's not there. It's just people are realizing that those numbers wasn't to show you that you're special or whatever. That number was to tell you that you're actually not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because what those numbers mean pertains to what you're doing. If you're successful and you're living a life and you're in alignment with spirit and you see certain synchronicities, that's a good sign. If you're out here, you just got your ass fucking, something negative happened to you. You just got fucking whatever, something negative happened, and you're seeing those numbers, or you're doing the same thing. You're working a shitty ass job at McDonald's. They just fired you. And you're confused and you start crying and you see 44. That's showing you you're on the wrong path. But yet you have dumbass people now be like, oh, that means spirit is protecting me. If spirit was protecting you, bitch, why didn't the fuck did you just get fired and going through all this shit? You can't sit there and have 20,000 things go wrong in your life and say the spirit and God is protecting me because 20,001 things didn't go wrong. It was just 20,000. At least I still have my car keys. I could have lost my car keys, but no, I got my ass beat. I lost this 9 to 5. Um, I fucking lost my shoe. My ankle broke, but at least I didn't lose my car. Then shut the fuck up, nigga, and stop fucking like bullshitting. People are retarded. That's why I say it. So once people realize that, because life and time is an experience, is the biggest teacher. Time is the biggest teacher. I could tell you, don't walk into that direction because somebody's gonna hit you. You won't believe me. But in 20 minutes, when you walk in that direction and somebody hits you, you're gonna believe me because time. It took 20 minutes of you walking for them to hit you, for them to believe you. So when people were into this spirituality shit like 8, 9 years ago, what happened was everyone was just new to it. So they say, oh, my life's gonna get better. I'm just gonna do a ritual. I'm gonna have a candle ritual. I'm gonna do like a little meditation and pray for peace in my life. And nobody did the physical work, which is like they never really talked about. Everyone thought spirituality was candles, crystals, and how much you can close your eyes and think about um, being in a good situation. Once that didn't work because over years, so once 2018 came, 19, 20, 21, and nothing changed, then that's when you start seeing to like people give up. So now we're like at 2026 and you see how the world is. Now most of the content is doomer shit. Even like 5, 6 years ago, most of the content was pretty much like you could be a millionaire. Remember, you could be a millionaire. You could make $100,000 a month. You could be the next crypto millionaire. You can meet all your spiritual goals and dreams. And not to say you can't be successful, but remember they were pushing that shit like crazy, and people were watching it. Nowadays, nobody's watching it, and then people will act like, oh, because people woke up because it's a scam. Not to say it wasn't a scam; it was a scam, but the main reason people woke up from that shit is because they weren't putting in no physical work in their life. They were just hoping someday I'll get lucky. But we're in a new shift in 2026. People are starting to realize like ain't shit gonna change unless you change. So you have a lot of people who believe that they've changed enough, and those people, those are the people who are doomers. Like they think that they're perfect. They think there's nothing wrong with them. So when you think there's nothing wrong with you and your life sucks, you become a doomer. When you know something's wrong with what you're doing and you're willing to change, then you're somebody who's successful eventually. You're gonna be eventually successful. So you have to at least know you're at fault. This is how like those incels and doomers and just miserable fucks they get created. People who just need to kill themselves because they're fucking annoying and need to shut the fuck up. Those people, they think there's nothing wrong with them. Like there's a reason like you like to be by yourself. And you know, like I like to be by myself, but I like to be by myself because I got an Aries moon and an Aquarius stellium. I can't really fuck with people. That's just in me. But if I'm around people, I can still be extroverted. I can play both. You have to be alone, and you feel miserable when you're in a large crowd of people because you're just a lame ass nigga. Like I don't even want to be around. It's not that you don't like to be around people. It's like no nigga, nobody wants to be around you because you're lame as fuck. Like that they got it like backwards and twisted. Because when I look at it, it's like 99% of individuals that I see, I don't even want to be around motherfuckers. So people will say, oh, I don't like being around people. And there's nothing wrong. Like I said, so I say, it's nothing wrong with people. It's how people are. Because when I go to different countries or I talk to different people who haven't been in this Western mentality, I notice it's more entertaining to communicate about certain shit. But when I'm around the average Westerner, especially American, Like I don't even want to be around. Like if I'm out in public and I see somebody trying to conversate, I don't even want to talk to them because I know I can't talk deep. So I was like, there's no point of me even talking. And I'm not saying I'll be rude and mean. Even if I'm nice, I'm like, this shit needs to hurry up and end. And I hate that I'm like that because I don't like to be like that. Like I don't want to be part of the problem that I be talking about. But it's not that I'm this because I'm not extroverted and I'm not introverted. I'm none of that shit. Like I'm none of that. I'm just who I am. But when I see people that make me feel like I want to be extroverted, or even make me feel like I want to be extra, when I see people that make me feel like I want to be introverted or even extroverted, that's when I'm like, I don't like that shit because I'm not either of that shit. But I always see people who they make me think like I want to be extroverted, and I have to realize like, no, it's not that I'm introverted or I'm extrovert. It's just this person's a fucking idiot, and I don't want to be around this person because their energy. I don't like their energy. Nothing wrong with people. It's what's wrong is a lot of people are under mind control from the government. There's a lot of deep mind control programming that's been happening. This shit's been happening since people were kids because you got to understand there's a reason they have the education, kindergarten, first grade. That's the main problem why you don't fuck with a lot of people. It's because everybody went to school. Imagine if nobody went to school and everybody was taught by certain community leaders, like chief masters, the Oga, that's the chief. After the Yoruba that's the chief. So imagine if that was like they had a situation where it wasn't some stupid fucking, I don't know, some person like all these teachers and shit that don't know shit teaching your kids. It will be a different type of situation going. It wouldn't be like it is right now. Because they don't teach, like I told you earlier, they don't teach you shit in school but how to make the corporation capital. There's nothing else to teach the kid. Even if you want to say manners, it correlates to capital. Because if you have a business and I disrespect the customer, if I own a business and I disrespect the customer, or if I'm an employee and I disrespect the customer, that can hurt the business because now the customer never wants to come back to that business. So when they teach manners, that's what it is. You go to nursing school, they need to save somebody from dying. They need to save that person so that person can take their ass up in the morning and be able to go back to the plantation and work. Everything's to make the corporation money. Nothing is meant, even no matter how sweet you think it is, nothing is meant to make is other than making the corporation money. They don't give a fuck about nothing. And if you don't believe me, go try getting a job at Walmart and try taking Christmas off, or try saying, I got to take the whole month off because I have a relative that's sick and I need to take care of him. They're going to fire you. They don't care because it's about money. And then you guys say it's fucked up. It is fucked up, but if the system is about money and you're not there for a month, regardless of what you're doing, taking care of your relative that's sick, you're still losing money. So they can't lose it. So they're going to fire you and hire somebody else who can be there for a month while you're not there. It's fucked up, but that's what it is. And what gets me so upset is when you have, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do negative thing towards people, it's wrong to do certain crime. I'm not saying it's right. But what gets me mad is when you see people of the same system, they try to put programs to make people feel bad. Like there'll be somebody, like a homeless person, asking for money, and then they'll try to make them feel bad, like they need to feel bad. But yet, if that homeless person was working and he had to go take care of a relative for a month, they'll fire him. Or if he didn't have money for rent, they'll fire him. But then nobody looks at that as bad. But then him asking for money on the street, oh, he's begging for money. Now you shut the fuck up. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's retarded. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But this is why I say, like, the universe will always, the spirit will always be the number one teacher. Life will be it doesn't matter how fucked up this system is. It doesn't matter how evil an individual is. Life will always whoop they fucking ass in the end when they deserve it. You can sit there and hide behind the judicial system. Oh, we're going to give this guy 20 years in jail because he robbed somebody and nobody got hurt. You could do that, but in the totality of the universal law, that's not right. So something's going to happen to that judge. It doesn't have to be the judge in this life. Like, it can happen. Something's going to happen most likely in this life, but once they die, they're going to have to experience that shit. And even in their current life, they're going to have some type of injustice. It may not have to do with crime or nothing. It could be a situation where they have a family member or something, and the family member is about to like get some type of like inherit. So they're about to get something like whatever, and they get cheated out of it. And now they have to experience that loss. So it may not have to do with the crime. Like, their family may not go to jail, but they're going to experience that same unfairness and that same loss. There's going to be something that happens in their life that's going to be so unfair that has nothing to do with crime, has nothing to do with the court, and they're going to be like, fuck. And it's going to happen within their spiritual existence. Whether it be this life, another life, they're going to have to experience that type of loss that they put onto somebody else. It's because you never get away with your shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I told you that I like you, you will always have that experience of me telling you that I liked you, even if I say I hate you. You will always remember that because I put that out there, and you can never delete an experience. You can never forget or erase an experience. Once you experience something, it's permanent. It's never not done. So when you do something to somebody, it's like that's part of you. So when you're a piece of shit, that's engraved in your whole spiritual energy. So it's gonna have to happen back to you. It doesn't have to be the same type of way, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna have some like calculation mathematically, whatever, and it's gonna happen the same way. Shit's crazy. And I say this shit like, because like even like me, like there's certain things I've done in my life, like I seen, like it's weird. Like I remember this one time I was going down the street. This is when I was younger. Me and my homies, we were like going out, and I broke this dude's car, like his rear view mirror, just for fun. Like we were just young and shit. Well, not that young. I was like in high school, and I broke his fucking mirror. And I remember the dude chased us. We got away, and he's like, "If I see you guys, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass." We were like breaking mirrors, and we got away. But I remember literally like a week later, my mom calls me, said she was driving down the street and some kid threw a rock and hit her window. And this never happened. Even to this day, nothing like this ever happened. It was only within that, I think it was like a week or 2 week time frame. And it was like, this shit happened right then. And when I seen it, I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. It's crazy. Even like when I was still shit. When I'll go and I'll steal shit, like I'll be at school. I remember I stole somebody's iPhone and then a whole bunch of other shit I stole. When I was steal from people, I noticed like it'll be like a $30-$40 thing, a little cheap ass thing, probably $200 thing. I'll steal from somebody, and then something will happen to me karmically within a short time frame. But then I'll go and like go to like a corporation, or I'll like do a check fraud for like $5,000, or I go to like a store and steal like $1,000 worth of shit, and like nothing will happen to me. But I notice like when I steal from people who have to work hard in the system, I notice it'll be like shit will happen. That's when back then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck with the people who work hard. Because not to say every time something happened, but it will always be like that. I don't know what, like I know what it was, but like it's like I noticed that like depending on what I took from somebody who couldn't afford the loss, I know that I felt that impact more. Like so, and it wasn't like something gets stolen from me. It's like something happens that equates. Like let's just say I stole something from this person. Something will happen to me that gets stolen from me, but it doesn't have to be something physical. It doesn't have to be money. It could be like some type of emotion, like I'm happy and then something was taken from me, but it wasn't physical. But like that same type of loss I felt, but it wasn't material or anything to do with somebody stealing something from me. It was in a different way. Like it doesn't always have to come back the same way. It could sometimes, but it'll be something because it everything is pertaining to you. It's like a calculation. So that same energy you put out is going to happen to you, but it could be in a different way. And if you're not even really spiritually aware, you'll think it's unrelated. Oh, this has nothing to do with it, but it really does. You be thinking like, oh, that has nothing to do with it, but it's like it does have something to do with it. So, and it wasn't like no karma. Like a lot of you niggas like, oh, it's karma. Like there's nobody. It was because the energy I put out. When you put out certain energy, it's like I said, like if I draw a picture of like a cow, I put that out there. I drew the picture. There's nobody in the world that can say that they drew that picture but me. So when you see that picture, you're looking at a part of me because I drew it. It wouldn't even be here without me. So when you're doing something, it's like you put that energy out there. It's like it's a part of you. So it's not like it's like karma or nothing like that. It's just like when you have a dream and shit. When you dream, you will never have the same dream I have. I'll never have the same dream. But what makes your dream your special is because you were doing something in your waking life, and when you went to sleep, that was on your mind, and your mind created that. So that's what a dream is. That's why we never have the same dreams as another person. You'll never, unless you tell me your dream, I can never know your dream. Unless you tell me your dream. Because it's all of that shit is what we create. So it's like it's your own shit. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna end this live stream, guys. Nobody, well, yeah, I'm gonna end this live stream because I gotta. It's an hour and 11 minutes. I don't know. I may end it in 15 minutes because I gotta get ready and go do some shit. Yeah. It's so weird how the astrology, like I noticed how, you know how the sun sign, like right now we're in Aquarius season. It's so weird how, like, I feel like ever since this last year, I'm able to feel the transits more. Like back then, I noticed when it would be, let's just say it'll be Taurus season, then Gemini, it really didn't feel different. But I noticed like this last year, especially these last few months, like something happened in the beginning of Capricorn season. Like the day Capricorn season starts, something happened in my life. And now we're going into Aquarius season. And I just got a call that thing that was happening is coming to a closure. And it's like, I don't like to talk about everything in my life, but it's weird how like certain things are like happening on the dates. But you got to be careful. We're like in a very we're in a transformative time right now, and we're gonna be in it for the next 2 years. Like we're just beginning it. We're in it, but this energy is gonna be like this for the next 2 years. And then probably the next couple years, it's gonna start stabilizing and it's gonna be kind of back to normal. Even though it's gonna be different, but we're gonna be in the normal. Right now, we're just kind of we're like getting used to this new shit. But in the next couple years, because this energy is gonna be for the next couple years, then you're gonna start feeling that this shift is normal. So we're still gonna be in this shift, but it's gonna be more normalized because you'll have to be used to it because we spent so much time in it. So like right now, like this is a time you got to be very like mindful and careful. Like you don't want to be really just doing anything, man. You have to at least have a goal and a plan on what the fuck you're doing right now. You have to go this next coming couple months, man. This whole year really, but these next few months is going to be very there's a lot of shit going on within the astrology. That's what I'm telling you guys. There's a lot of shit going on. So if you see a lot of things happening in your life, like things don't seem the same and just weird shit, just know that it's the transits and don't let it stress you out. Just know that this is part of the way this shit is. Because one thing I realized, like most people, if not like I'm so good at seeing like the energies in people's eyes. Like I be seeing people in real life, And I'd be looking at, because they're like, I'd be talking to my brother and like family members, and I'd be like, this person looks miserable. This person looks depressed. This person looks like they're going through it. And then they'd be like looking at me like, you just saying that. And you call everybody like that. I'm like, it's not that I call everybody like that. Is most people are like that. And when I see these people later on, like they'll be like, there was this one white kid, right? And I was like, this person looks hella traumatized. He looks hella miserable. But then he's all like talking normal and smiling and shit. And then come to find out, like a few weeks later, like this dude's all talking about fuck you niggers and this and I hate this and like just talking some weird shit. And I'm like, I knew this because this motherfucker's all smiling in my face and shit. But then he was all saying something. He wasn't saying it to me, but he got exposed for it. And I seen it. Like, because when you can tell somebody who's going through something or who's been a lot of trauma by the way they look, by the way they talk, even if they say nice things, they have a certain sinister look. Even if you look at like next time you see somebody like a mugshot, somebody who's like let's just say a lady who beat the shit out of her one of her friends or whatever, and she got taken to jail for felony assault on the first degree. If you look at the way she looks before the assault and after the assault in her mugshot, especially before the assault, let's just say somebody beat the fuck out of somebody and they went to jail for felony assault first degree. If you could get a picture of that person like a week before that assault happened, you'll notice they have a certain look. And when you see somebody with that look, this is a person that has a lot of trauma, anger. They have something they're dealing with, and they haven't healed themselves. So it's like a ticking time bomb. So certain things, since we're all supposed to heal ourselves, if they don't know to heal themselves, the universe is going to put situations to make them have to recognize their healing. But most people aren't spiritual. They don't know that. So what's going to happen is situations going to come up and they're going to react. And then if it gets too drastic, somebody can go to jail. That's why you got to know yourself, because if that person knew themselves, they'll know to heal themselves. They'll know to stay away. They'll know that they're not in a mentality to be around people, so they wouldn't even be around that person, because they know if the person says the wrong thing, they're gonna go upside their head and get a first degree assault. All that shit, but they don't know that because the way like they try to make you think, oh, it's just you, or no, it's like they try to make you feel like I don't want to be looked at as crazy, or they try to teach you to suppress your emotions. So when you're feeling a certain way, they want you to look at it like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just being a hater. I just got to stop being a hater. No, there is something wrong with you. If you have a lot of hate for somebody, you need to go back to the drawing board, recognize it, stay away from people, and go and heal. Don't ignore it and think it's not an issue, and then it boils over, and then now you upside somebody's head with first degree assault. Now you looking at like some prison time. Like, so I noticed that like when you look at people's mugshots, you can see like before that incident happened, like because when you see somebody go to jail, you got to look at it like this. It's not the crime that they did for why they're in jail. It's a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with the crime that led to them go to jail. Like they were already in jail spiritually before they went to jail. Like somebody who went to jail for assault and it knocked somebody upside the head. There was something in their life that they weren't dealing with. And as a result, it led them to do that assault. They weren't dealing with something, and then they were in a certain mindset. Like I got pulled over by the police 3 days ago, or like 4 days ago, right? He let me go and everything. I have a warrant, but it's an out-of-state warrant. I was scared as fuck because I thought this nigga was gonna. I thought I was gonna get my car suspended. It was suspended back in November. I need to get it fucking registered. And the reason I don't want to get it registered, because I had it registered before, but I didn't want to get it registered because the engine light's on, and I don't know how expensive that thing is on. Because I'm not. It's like I'm not gonna get it registered for my car to fucking just fuck up in the next few weeks, and whatever. And then because I'm just gonna get a new car and register that. I'm not trying to give $300 to the fucking state to register my car, and I don't even have it a year. So I didn't register it. So it was suspended, I think, as of like November 20 something. And then I had an out of state warrant, but it's a small warrant. And they said online, they say if it's a small warrant, like it's nothing major, then it doesn't go from state to state. says he didn't mention it. It was a police. It was a sheriff because some bitch ass nigga was driving like a fucking dumbass, like a retard in front of me. I pull out in front of him because he's driving slow as fuck. I'm like, go, bitch, the light's green. I fucking pull out in front of him, and I went into the turning lane, and I went straight instead of making it right. And then the sheriff seen me, and then he had pulled me over, and I showed him my license, like, how long you been living here? Because it was an out of state plate, and my license was out of state, and I just told him a year, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna let you go this time, but next time you have to get this thing registered for this state because my shit was like out of California and shit. But they weren't really tripping. It was a black police officer too. I felt like if it was a white one, they probably would have wrote me a ticket or took my car. I thought my car was gonna be taken. I thought I was gonna go to jail for that warrant because it's a bench warrant. They said it was gonna be a bench warrant, which, and to be honest, like if I ended up having to go to jail, I would have just served the time because I'm not getting on no fucking probation, like. Because the amount of time they'll give me is very small. Like anything under like a month or 2 months I'll do that. I don't give a fuck. And once it goes over 2 months, then that's when I'll be like probably probation. But because I've been in jail before, I don't really give a fuck. If just to get it done and situated with. Because I'm not gonna be on no probation for 3 fucking years. I'm not doing that shit. Because I can't have somebody always searching my shit. Especially the shit that I be doing sometimes. You don't need to be looking at my shit. I'm not trying to go to jail. So I'd rather just serve the time and do whatever. Nigga, fuck probation. But I forgot, I was going to say something about that situation. But, oh yeah. So like when that police pulled me over, it was something, it had nothing to do with me speeding. This is the point I was trying to make. It had nothing to do with me speeding. This had everything to do with the mindset I was in. There are certain things I was supposed to be doing and I wasn't doing. And it's like, I don't want to go deep into my business, but I wasn't on a certain alignment like I was supposed to be doing. And I could tell the universe set that situation up because the police was right there. And it was like a warning. So I needed to stop doing what I was supposed to be doing because I was in a very angry, made up state of mind. And I was in a rush and I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. And nothing illegal, but just on a spiritual level, I wasn't in alignment. And I could tell the spirit told me like it was a message telling me to slow down. So when you see somebody like get in a situation, even when it's like a situation like an accident or it's something that they're doing that had nothing to do with the accident, even if it looked like it did. And you say, well, if they're driving crazy, that's what they had the accident. But why would you drive crazy? It's because you were in a certain mindset. Why were you in that mindset? Because your spirit was in a fucked up situation. Like it all starts from a spiritual level. And then you start acting and doing dumb, stupid shit. And then it plays out as like you get in even when a police arrest you, like where that police was parked, like I pulled out in front of the guy and I pulled out in front of him right in front of the sheriff. Right there in front of the sheriff. Like where the sheriff was, it was like it was supposed to happen. It wasn't like, oh, I made a mistake or it was that situation was set up. That's why like a lot of people, this is why you'll see criminals that always go to jail. The criminal that goes to jail all the time, this is the criminal that thinks that they could always, the criminal that thinks they could get away all the time is a criminal who gets thrown in jail all the time. Because you got to understand, it's not that the police are good at catching you. It's not that criminals are good at getting away. So if you're a police and you think that, oh, we're gonna catch you, no, you're not. You don't catch all criminals. And if you do catch a criminal, it's because the universe wanted to sit that spirit in time out. So it allowed you to catch him. This is why sometimes people get away from police. They don't really show you that. They just show you the ones that get caught. But it's because, so you got to understand, when you look at it from this perspective, you know when to not do something and when to do it. Not just with the police, but with anything. Because the criminal who gets thrown in jail and in trouble all the time is the one who thinks they can get away. They think, oh, I can outsmart the police. If I cover my license plate, if I do this, it's not about that. No matter what you do, the spirit will create a situation where one day the wind blows a certain way and it removes your license plate paper. Or you're selling drugs to somebody and the spirit's going to make where one person snitches you out. No matter how good you are. Because you're opening that avenue. So you have to not really This is why they say just don't even do crime. Just be an authentic self and do what you have to do. And if you have to do any type of negative things, it should be in alignment with your purpose. And then that's the only way, the only way, sure proof way you could not get caught is if you have a bigger purpose and you're doing it to, you're trying to fight fire with fire. So you maybe need some money, you got to do something, and you have a plan and you're in alignment, then the spirit will allow you to do it. And you'll, if anything, there people will respect you for it. Like there'll be situations where you may do something and then like you may do something right in front of the police and they should have seen you. They literally be like, what's good? And they shake your hand while you were doing something, but they didn't see what you're doing. But they're cool because that shows the spirit's fucking with you. But when you're like, when they're like fucking with you and you're always getting in trouble, going to jail, or get something negative happening, that's because you fucked up. That's because you fucked up. So you gotta know it's not about you being outsmarting and you good. Is you just gotta be in alignment. And first of all, you shouldn't even be doing anything you ain't have no business doing in general. Like I don't like to promote anybody to do anything you have no business doing because everybody's different. You can't do what everybody else does. Some people like the way their spirit operating and based upon their situation, maybe they can get away with more things than you. Because maybe they have a certain purpose. The spirit wants them to be, maybe the spirit needs them not in jail because they have a purpose to do something. So they can probably commit certain crimes and get away with it because they have a purpose to not be in jail. Not to say that they can never be in jail, because if they keep pushing it, then the spirit will be like, you guys sit your ass down. And even then, it may, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be, so you don't do what other people do. That's what I'm just telling you. Just goes out to like know who you are and be in alignment. And if you have to do what the fuck you got to do, always have the plan and the mission number one. Have the plan and the mission number one, and make that the main thing. And if you have to do something, then you do it for that mission and for that plan. And even then, you won't even have to do it that long if you're really doing it right. And usually, you don't even have to do something. If it gets to the point where you have to do something illegal to be on your spiritual mission, that means you fucked up and you did something down the line where you made it where your opportunity was kind of lessened. You see what I'm saying? Like if you were supposed to do something 10 years ago and you didn't do it and you started now, then you may have to do certain things that you probably wouldn't need. So the more negative you have to do to try to get ahead means you actually could have done it without being negative, but you missed those opportunities or you took too long. So now it's like you're getting more leeway to do certain things just to get you there. And that's what that really means, really. Because if you were really on time and you weren't behind energetically, you wouldn't have to do anything negative at all to really get where you need to get to. So I don't want to say that some people, when I say some people they need to, that's not always the case. Sometimes you just fucked up and you're at a situation where maybe you got to do what you got to do at this point. So it's not to say, oh, I'm just going to do this. And no, like most of the time, 99% of people, if you're on track and you didn't fuck up, you're going to be able to get to where you need to get to in harmony and synchronicity. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. This is a good live. Anybody? I guess nobody has any questions, but shout out to everybody in the room. And I'll probably be on live tomorrow, or whatever. I gotta do a lot of shit tomorrow, so yeah. But I'm gonna hit everybody up later, man. I'm out. Peace.